Hello, hello, hello. Here we go. This is what I'm talking about in this video, particularly about some tools you may need to help you make it, especially if you're coming on these sew days with me in September, October and November of 2024. Okay? If you're going to be making this quilt in whatever colourway you're going to be doing it in. Okay? And I, leaning over, I'm Diane. And I'm a chief bottle washer at Stitchscape. And I'm leading the sew days. I've organised them. And I'm busy making my sample. And there's a couple of things I just want to go over. Maybe I'll use them in the workshops, who knows. But they're just little notes in case you want to make this quilt yourself at home or wherever, you know, with a group of friends. Please do. It's more fun when you're a group of friends. This is the quilt. Okay, now in the very first steps of the pattern, and it's a free pattern on the Art Gallery Fabrics website, so I'm not taking anybody's pattern here. It's a free one on Art Gallery Fabrics website to encourage you to use their fabrics, and I do too. Okay, am I going to get higher there? Let's see. High-tech videoing. Now, on the first step, you use fabrics A and B to make some half square triangles with the Magic 8 method. Now, the first thing I want to say is in the cutting instructions, it says for you to cut your initial squares to 5 7/8. Don't do that to yourself, would be my advice, especially if you're just getting into these and you've maybe never done half square triangles before. You maybe don't even know what on earth they are. If that's the case, do not underline 3,000 times, do not cut your initial squares at 5 7/8. I recommend cutting them quite a bit bigger than that at, let's say, 6 1/4 inches. Okay? For the love of all things holy, do that for yourself. You are worth it. Because if you try and cut them exactly at 5 7/8, you are asking for trouble. Your seam allowances will have to be bob on every single seam. Are you a robot? Nah, me neither. Am I perfect? Woo, no way. So that's my first advice, is get in touch with me if you want, but for the first couple of cutting instructions, cutting fabrics A and B, it says to cut them from 5 7/8. Then it says to cut fabrics C and D the same size, but don't. 6 1/4 is what I'm suggesting, and I'm hopefully going to put 6.25 or 6 1/4 inches big on the screen here, hopefully, to really bed it in. Those are the first cuts you're going to make out of fabrics A, B, C and D. Actually, yeah, and E and F. Different amounts of each one. But A, B, C, D, E and F are all going to be cut at squares starting at 6 1/4 inches. Because there's plenty of fabric. You don't have to worry that you're going to run out of fabric, because you won't. Oops. Right, so that's what you're doing. And if you start off with your initial squares at 6 1/4 inches, that will help you out big time. And I won't go through the method now. That's not why I'm here. That's in the pattern, and I can teach you that, or you can learn that wherever. I'm just saying with this particular pattern is where I'm working from today, and for the sew days. So there's going to be a lot of cutting, there's going to be a lot of pressing, and there's going to be a lot of trimming down. So two of the tools I'm going to recommend for the sew days in particular, because I will not have 15 irons and 15 cutting mats available. That's the way it is. I will have some, but I am definitely going to recommend, if you don't want to have to wait I'm going to recommend that you buy your own. And you can buy these 2 items from me. But giving you a heads up, you can, if you can get these for a tenner from somewhere, well, fill your boots, buy 6 of them. This is the Quilters Cut and Press. And I've been using mine for years, so mine does not look white and beautiful. Mine looks pretty dirty and revolting, but it still does the job. So you have, it's called the Quilters Cut and Press. It's a June Taylor product, because you can press on this side and you can turn it over and cut on this side. Now, one thing I particularly like about it, it stops you having to buy a rotating cutting mat, because when you have the mat, oh, let me put it down. When you have the mats down like this and you're going to be doing your cutting, especially with cutting these Magic 8 method half square triangles out, you are cutting a vertical line, you are cutting a horizontal line, and you're also cutting 2 lines that are on the diagonal. What is excellent is you can do your vertical line cut, you can turn the mat, do your next line cut, you can turn the mat slightly again, do one of your diagonal lines, and all this time you are not touching your pieces of fabric. They're just staying on the mat as still as possible. You are touching the mat to move it, not touching the fabric to move it, which can get it all out of whack, and then it ends up taking you so much longer. That's why I particularly love that. Do I have a rotating cutting mat for use in the studio? Yes, I do. I only have one. But when I'm in my own room sewing, or when I'm here nowadays sewing, this is what I will probably use, because it's so convenient when you're doing so many of the one thing. You can have it right beside your sewing machine, and you can be doing your cutting on this side, and then you can do your pressing on this side, and it's nice and firm pressing. It's best for patchwork, really, nice and firm, so that it gives you a nice smooth press. To get that nice smooth press, oh, those, by the way, I sell them for £35. Like I say, if you can get them for a tenner anywhere, Philly boots, buy 6 and make a fortune selling them. It's up to you. But I sell these for £35. Okay. The other thing that you're going to need with that is an iron. Of course, you can use whatever iron you like. Back in the day, before I found these, I used to use a travel iron, and sometimes I have to get it out. But the iron I'm recommending is the Little Prim mini iron. Okay, that's it, all fancy in its box. This is my old one, my studio one, which has been used by everybody and anything, and me for tons of products. So you can see it's yellowing a little bit. But the steam function on it is really great for such a tiny little machine. You put the water in there, only a little bit of water, and it's got steam or no steam, because not everybody likes it. Okay, so that's what you can definitely use for this, and it's nice and small to go right beside your machine, and it doesn't take up too much space in your luggage when you're having to pack up to come to workshops and whatnot. I sell these for 36. These have just gone up by £1, as of everything. So we've got a 36 for this, and I got a 35 for those. So those will help you out for your sew days, or if you're not coming to the sew days, just whenever you're going out and about, or if you just want to do a whole pile of a lot of something like these half square triangles. I'll get a total of 40 of them out of just the ABs, out 6 1/4 inch squares. Okay, so it's a lot, especially when you're cutting, you're pressing and you're trimming. There's a lot, so if you've got it by your machine, it just feels more productive and not so bitty. Okay, and just quick little tip as well. let me get these right. I think, oops. Hold on. I've got rid of all my labels because I've made my half square triangles, so I've got rid of my colours. I think the stars fabric was A, and I think that little one was B. Okay, but in this case, I'm considering B as the darker one. So when you've got it like this and you've just cut it down, I would put that on my pressing mat with that side up, with the little squares on it up. I will give that a little press like that on all of them first. Okay, so that warms up the thread and the fabric ready to be pressed. And then open it up, use the edge of your iron, there, that edge of the iron, going in to lift that up, then put that there, and then use the edge of your iron to put that seam over and then hold it down, and then that's it. Okay, let me just bring this camera a little bit closer to make that a little bit clearer, I think. But obviously if you come into the sew days, I can show you this there. So I've pressed that already to warm it up, or it's probably gone cold by now, so I'll do that. Cable's going in the wrong way for the filming. Okay, and then open up that top one, use the edge of your iron and encourage that seam up. Hold it down because you're pressing, you're not ironing. And there you go. You've got your 2 half square triangles ready to be trimmed. Oops, that's back to front. That's better. Okay. We come. There we go. Oops, want to stay as a bouncy one. I'll move back. Okay, and then they're ready to, like I say, to be trimmed. That's all for now. Just a quick little intro to the pattern and the findings that I'm getting about it. Serving as a bit of a reminder to me, really, for when I run the sew days and when I'm telling everybody else. But maybe lots of other people will want to make it. Use your own colourway. You know, maybe you prefer blues. Maybe you prefer traditional Christmas fabrics. Whatever, batiks, whatever you want to make. The pattern instructions, this is my take on them and my view on them when I'm teaching them to different levels of ability and experience. Excuse me. Okay. That's all for now, folks. Taddy bye.